Artistic flower arrangements on display in Japan, the US, or at an Indian wedding in Italy. Daniel Ost's arrangements are in demand the world over. The Belgian turns everything green into amazing displays. In his home country, Ost is known as the Picasso of flower arranging. But compliments like that just make the modest florist smile.
Many people say he's an artist, and they say I'm the Van Gogh of the flowers. But on my name card there is still very simple Bloembinder. The title is not important.
Ost opened his first florist shop in 1980 in Sint-Niklaas near Brussels. 4 years later he moved there with his family. In 2003 he opened another store in the Belgian capital Brussels. Today he's a well-known figure all over the country. Ost discovered his love of flowers at an early age.
My grandfather was a farmer, and I was already collecting flowers, and at that time the pits with excrements of animals to nourish the land were still open. And I fell into that pit and I lost conscience, and I almost lost my life. And my grandfather just arrived. I think he broke the Olympic record at that time in running to there, because he only saw my white hair, and he still recalls that I had in my small hands the flowers.
Flowers were to become his overriding passion. Among Ost's customers, the Belgian royal family and top fashion labels.
This is for the fashion designer Dries Van Noten. This is his favorite flower, and yes, it became iconical because it has been maybe copied 50 times.
Luxury and beauty brands also embellish their images with Ost's signature look.
It's the back shop of the Shiseido cosmetic shop in Ginza in Tokyo. And this is berries. It's called Korean Smilax, but it's done one by one, the berries. It's with huge teams.
That project took 2 days and nights. His wife Marianne has played a key role in his career.
Without my wife, I would be nothing. I wouldn't be famous, and nobody would have known about my existence. She was stabilizing me. She was keeping with my 2 feet on the ground. That's all.
The two married 40 years ago. There were a few speed bumps.
My father and mother didn't want us to get married, and her father and mother didn't want us to get married. And the priest was talking about somebody else because he made a mistake in the speech about us. He was talking about another couple, and it was very funny. And but he said to her, then he realized he made a terrible mistake. And then he said, but Marianne, don't forget, he will always be first in love with his flowers, and then you will be second place.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The Osts have passed on their passion for plants to their daughter Nele. She runs the business in Brussels. Doing the impossible and doing it perfectly, that's what drives both generations. In 2017, Nele Ost turned a royal wedding in the Emirate of Ajman into a scene out of a fairy tale. To do it, she had to fly in over 30,000 flowers from the Netherlands, cut them by hand and arrange them while always ensuring they got enough water. 100 people worked on it for 2 weeks. Nele has followed in her father's footsteps. After years of hesitation on his part, she finally convinced him to work as court florist for the Belgian royal family.
I think it's nice, and it's something you have to deserve every time again, because it's not something that is guaranteed for years to come. So again, there's the pressure.
But both father and daughter apparently thrive on that pressure. Daniel's just returned from New York, where he turned the city's botanical garden into a sea of orchids. The orchid show will be on display until the end of April. The 62-year-old has already moved on to other challenges. Working with flowers is one of the most ephemeral of art forms.
This is my love. That's important. I like what I do. I'm always forced to make new things, and that is what I like about it.
And Belgium's most famous florist plans to keep on creating masterpieces for years to come.